speech portion. And our first speaker was Ruchin Gupta. And Ruchin is being evaluated by Dick Bonner. Ruchin almost made my evaluation academic because he was about to get himself shot. He had a speech time for 8 minutes, and I uploaded it. I alerted him to this just before he went on, and he had to cut the last minute. Did a pretty good job, I think. But you can buy me dinner. Well, I'll settle for lunch with an alcoholic beverage, because otherwise you wouldn't be in the contest. No chance of getting in the contest. Now, another thing you'll notice in his speech, I'm sorry I was wrong. The comma, I'm sorry, comma, I was wrong. There was a difference if he didn't have the comma in there. But what he is doing is apologizing for having the wrong attitude initially, and then now he's trying to rectify things. Now, if you get to the contest, I think you should note that bullying and hazing are not interchangeable. Hazing, you subject yourself to it by choice because it's part of a group. A fraternity is the most typical one like that. Whereas bullies don't put themselves out for it, generally speaking. So at least get that out there. And your speech was uplifting, encouraging, you had great advice for people in this really a serious problem. I think it's grown more serious because I think people are more sensitive these days than they used to be. And we're not accepting it as just, hey, that's just the way things are. We're getting away from that, and a good thing too, I think. Because, bullying can cause suicide. It can wreck someone's life. They're just never the same. They're scarred or crippled, emotionally crippled the rest of their lives. So bullying is not something, but again, you can point this out, what you did, how you overcame it. You just decided not to let it do it, which is very good advice. But show a little more awareness of this isn't quite that easy all the time. And that would make it more, I think, even more convincing, persuasive to your audience. And hazing, of course, can lead to death. You know that President and General Ulysses S. Grant's son was in trouble with his fraternity at Cornell back in the late 19th century because a pledge died in a hazing incident, fell into one of those horrible gorges they had there. Horrible death for that. Now, your advice, though, was quite thoughtful, and it can be encouraging. And I liked that this time you didn't rely so much on the screen. You weren't just up here doing a presentation, reading off the screen. Now, they want to know what you can do to change to get better in the future, things like that. And for the contest, I would say, try to get more away from this technology that you seem to be joined at the hip to. Now, before I joined Toastmasters, I read a few magazines, a couple of articles on PowerPoint, and the whole idea was to stress the disasters that can happen. And if you're at a contest and something happens to your PowerPoint presentation, your computer and all that, you're pretty much dead in the water. So get more experience with it, and without that, and the more experience you get with this, it strengthens you in other ways. Almost every strength you pick up will strengthen your real interest, which is the PowerPoint presentation.